Welcome to One Brothas Mind, and I am KD Smooth. Today we will question and challenge popular information and views from a B1 perspective, while we expose the real facts you need. We do this to strengthen your logical, critical, and discerning thinking skills. Because in today's world, hard choices are mandatory and they come with consequences. So you need all the information. And at One Brothas Mind, we do this from a B1 Yeshua the Christ followers perspective. Now, if you're not ready, you better get ready with Katie Smooth at One Brothas Mind. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again with One Brothas Mind. This is Katie Smooth coming back at you, bringing you another broadcast on today. Today we're going to cover this issue in regards to some things that's been going on with money systems here in the U.S. and actually in the world. And specifically, we're going to cover the issue in regards to these money cards / so-called banking options. That's what we're going to cover today. These guys. Okay, we're going to do, hopefully this will be a short report. I'm not trying to go real long on this, but these guys, we're going to have a brief discussion on these guys. For those who are not aware, just the other day, PayPal made a huge announcement, and I'm going to go over this announcement in its article, and then we'll continue on to the rest of the guys, these and issues. Okay, the PayPal announcement that was broadcast either February 2nd, 2022 or the 3rd, 2022, which is today. I think I heard one report announced on the 2nd, like I said. A headline reads, "Bad Actors. PayPal shares plunge as it shuts 4.5 million accounts down." Again, bad actors. PayPal shares plunge as it shuts 4.5 million accounts down. And this is a report out of the Sydney Morning Herald that I'm coming from. A report by Jenny Shireen. Again, this morning, February 3rd, 2022, 7:45 a.m. Okay? Yeah, 4.5 accounts. All right. If that's not alarming to you, if you're a PayPal user, keep listening. Okay. I'm not going to read the whole article. I'm just going to highlight a couple of the statements in the article. You can find it again at the source that I provided. The article says global payments giant PayPal said it closed 4.5 million accounts and lowered its forecast for new customers after finding bad actors. Okay. The article later states that accounts were being created by bot farms, a system of fundsters used to manipulate internet activity. Okay? And they just called these individuals bad actors. I want you to focus on that headline. Okay? 4.5 million accounts closed. Family, there's a whole lot more going on than what they're saying is happening with PayPal. Okay. Number one, check your PayPal account. That's number one. Number two, start working on not using not only PayPal, but any of these cash account or cash app card accounts. Start winging yourself off of these things now. Not just for this reason. I'm going to give you another reason here in a moment. But yeah. Okay, let me say this again. PayPal's closes 4.5 million accounts. Does that make you feel confident that your account and money with PayPal is safe? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. These not my words. You look it up if you got to go see it with your own eyeballs. This is just happening, y'all. Okay, so again, check your account. In addition, they're trying to, in some reports, they're trying to build this off as this is like a common way to describe these bot scenarios, or they call them Russian bots. So they're trying to kind of connect this situation with Russian bots, if you will, by saying bots without, saying it directly. Also, there's a little bit of that as well. All right. So, first point I want to make with you guys is PayPal and these other cash options, online cash options, they are not, I repeat, they are not official banks. I know they operate in many ways like banks, like that you go to physically in your area, but they are not official banks. Okay? Now, with that said, I want you guys to focus on a concept really quickly, especially here in America. Okay, y'all understand that we have laws and requirements and regulations and things on our books, excuse me, sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We have laws and regulations and requirements for business, certain types of businesses here in America, okay? That those types or categories of businesses, whatever category it is, I'm not focusing on banks right now, I'm just speaking in general. Whatever category you pick as far as the business, it has a certain list of laws and requirements and restrictions that it has to legally follow. Okay? Now, this general concept is what has been used and being used. It's happened or been happening quite often over the last maybe century or so. Okay? And that is, if you have a business or corporation that fits within one category and you find that the laws and regulations and requirements, you feel that those are too restrictive for you to really operate and do the business that you want to do. What a lot of corporations and businesses have done, they've just started a new business or a new corporation and identified it or called it or given it just a different name, right? Claimed it was a different type of business, therefore a new category. And by doing that, therefore not being bound or restricted by the original business types, laws, restrictions, and requirements. Do y'all get what I'm saying? That general concept. So I'm going to give you some examples. And in this case, we're looking at these, what a lot of people feel are banking cards and systems. They're not banks. Not legally, not completely. They're not. They do a lot of money functions and banking functions, but they're not banks. 100%. So that's when these things started popping up. When PayPal was pretty much one of the first one that popped up and got away with it successfully. And then shortly thereafter, a whole bunch of them, like y'all know, started popping up. All these different ones. Oh, they did it. Okay, let's do it. Let's us do it. Okay, we're gonna do our own. We're gonna call it this. We're gonna call it, they started popping up like crazy. There's a bunch of them now. And basically they've used the same general concept that I just explained. Okay? Keep that general concept in mind. I'll give you another example. In the U.S., we have the United States military and all of its different divisions, right? And that's always been till today, that's always, but the military has certain restrictions and laws and requirements that it has to follow. And if, of course, if it breaks any of those, it's in trouble, right? Well, you guys may be familiar. There's a guy named, I believe his name is Eric Prince. And what he did was organize and create his own so-called armed security force, international armed security force, right? And it's made up of mostly ex-military, United States military, and cops. Okay? Now, when the U.S. military goes out, the U.S. military has to get authorizations to do military activities anywhere in the world. They have to get those authorizations from the government, from Congress, things of that nature, right? Before they can act. Whereas in contrast, a private international security force, because it's not the official U.S. military, it does not. Do you see the trickeration there? Y'all see that? They just created the same thing, but called it something different. And that's how they get around or outside of the legal requirements. They're talking about doing the same thing in a lot of states here in the U.S. because there's so many problems with the cops throughout the United States, and they're getting hammered or been getting hammered here in the last few years with lawsuits and most citizens in America hate the cops and just on and on and on. So a lot of the governors and mayors and police departments throughout the country are actually sitting around putting together and planning to create so-called private security forces in certain states. And they're trying to figure out how to legally get them authorized to be and provide policing, so-called policing. They're going to call it something else, without the same requirements, laws, and restrictions that regular police forces for each state and city have. Stay tuned to that, y'all. It's coming. All right. But you get the concept. You just basically call it something different and you do the same thing pretty much without the requirements or restrictions. Okay. So this is what PayPal is. It's a bankish type thing like the rest of them. Okay? In case you didn't know. Now, Like I said, check your PayPal account. Make sure it's still up, etc., etc., etc. All right. Now, let's read a little bit more, or let's say, to reiterate, PayPal said it closed these accounts because of finding what they call bad actors. That's what the article says. Okay, but the article, other than saying that they discovered accounts were being created by bot forms, a system fraudsters who use them to manipulate internet activity. But it didn't go into any other, that was a statement the company said. In this report, it didn't go into any other details. Okay, so now let's put on our speculation hats. Okay, most of us have heard about internet bots and programs, and it's basically software that's created and designed to manipulate internet activity, to fraudulently manipulate internet activity. So let's take exactly what PayPal said in their statement as 100% truth. Okay? Again, does that make you feel that your PayPal account is safe? I thought not. But let's go on about these bots. Okay. A brief description of what these bots are is they're basically software programs that are created to artificially generate millions of bot clicks, which is a series of multiple invalid clicks. Okay? The click bots create fake IP addresses to generate fake clicks. Okay? They identify internet activity and then try to replicate a real click artificially. Okay? Many times within a short period of time. Okay? So this confuses the actual software for the company or software on your computer. It confuses it to understand that all these extra clicks by the click bot are the same as a manual click that a human being is doing. That's what the company software believes and your software believes. So it accepts them, is basically. Okay? So again, basically the clickbot programs adapt the human-like behavior on the internet and makes it seem real to the software or website or your software on your computer, so that the software can't tell the difference between the fake or the real human click. Okay? That's basically what bot programs do. And yes, it is a real thing. I'm not saying PayPal is saying the bots is lying about that bots are out there. It is a real thing. Okay? But again, like I asked you, having to delete 4.5 million PayPal accounts because they've just now recently discovered this problem, does that make you feel that your money is safe with PayPal, your account? Right. Okay. So, with that being the case, there's another question. PayPal did this and their stock crashed like crazy when they made this announcement, right? And they did this without any real notification. any prior notice. They just did it. Right? Boom. They just did it. Okay. So if they can just snap their fingers and delete 4.5 million PayPal accounts, again, does that make you feel like your account and your money is safe? Okay, let me ask a different question. Do you think for 1 second that 0 real accounts got deleted as a part of this 4.5 million PayPal accounts that were deleted? Exactly. So for those people, however many or few there were that were actual real accounts, they've been fighting since PayPal did this, trying to get their money or do whatever they got to do to figure out, get their money. Hopefully you ain't one of those people, number one. And two, does that make you feel like your money and account is safe with PayPal? For them to have the ability to just, boom, delete all these accounts and potentially get you caught up in it and your account caught up in it, and then now you got a whole bunch of trouble, especially if you so-called using it as a business account. Okay? That's the next point. The next point is I want y'all to clearly understand this. Hear me on this. All banks today can do this at the snap of a finger. Boom. Your physical banks in your area where you bank at, or these online bankish type websites or apps or whatever you want to call them. They all can do this, y'all. So, as I've been saying here, One Brothas Mind, over and over and over again, ladies and gentlemen, your money is not safe in any banks or accounts digitally with anybody other than yourself. And again, it is One Brothas Mind's recommendation, ladies and gentlemen, that you keep 90+% of your money with you. Cash? Can y'all say cash? However you do it, keep it with you. That's the safest thing. And it's been that way for the last couple of decades, but people ain't caught on to it. Most people. Okay? Why? Because you can have things like this. And there's been a bunch of other banking problems that have occurred. And people have gotten caught up into it. And their money is jacked up for a long time. And it causes them all kind of extra hardships and problems. Imagine if you running your business with PayPal, using PayPal transactions, and bang, now all your PayPal transactions, your account was caught up into this deletion, and now all your PayPal transactions and money, I said transactions and money, were caught up in this, and now you on the phone, and you can't walk up and open a PayPal door and say, hey, give me my money. You stuck. And unless they just willingly, easily turn your money over and recognize they made an error with your account, you got a whole bag of new legal problems trying to get your real money. Okay? Stop keeping the majority of your money in any bank or bank type of digital situation. Okay? Physical or not. It's not safe. I don't care what the FDIC thing says for you high IQ brothers and sisters. It's never been safe. Okay? Banks get their security systems hacked all the time. If bots can, anything on the internet or that uses the internet to do transactions can be hacked, y'all. It's real simple. Yeah, a lot of corporations spend a lot of money trying to secure their web transactions and websites and things like that for this very reason, but PayPal just had to delete 4.5 million what they call bad accounts. Okay? So, does that make you feel that your money in your account is safe? Right. All right. So, in addition to this PayPal report, let's talk about the other cash moving, money moving apps and cards and stuff. If y'all didn't know, many of y'all have heard, but there's been a new law. It started and went into effect January 1st, 2022. The new law is that all cash cards, systems, sites, every one of them, even any new ones you think you can get around it, all of them are legally required to report commercial transactions totaling more than $600 per year. $600 of your commercial transactions per year, not per month, per year. So if you do a business of some kind, any kind of business, and you pay or receive $600 with any of these card money things in a year's time, that company is going to be reporting your transactions to the IRS for tax purposes. Okay? Are y'all listening? I know Pookie and them, some of the Pookie and whoever else, some of them been using these car apps to run their little side hustles, and been using it as a way, I know Pookie has, to escape paying taxes on whatever side hustle income Pookie's able to make. But Pookie in trouble now. You ain't getting away with that no more. Anything $600 and more in a year, not a month, a year. Okay? Prior to this new law, these companies only had to report the tax information to the IRS when a person had over 200 commercial transactions per year that exceeded the total value of $20,000. So, in 2021, if you had either more than 200 commercial transactions or transactions that total over $20,000, these companies will report your information to the IRS, because that was considered, you could say, business level function. But as of January 1st, that figure and amount has been reduced to $600 per year. Okay? And there's a variety of reasons for this change. I'm going to give you a couple of them. One, the government is greedy, y'all. They always have been. They want to squeeze as much tax money out of every person, every U.S. citizen that they possibly can, except for the wealthy. Hear me when I say it. I'm going to say it again. The United States government wants to squeeze the maximum amount of tax money out of every citizen in the United States, except for the wealthy. Whether it's a wealthy people or wealthy businesses, wealthy corporations, you name it. Because the wealthy play money games and use money loopholes to avoid paying U.S. taxes. And the government does not, for the most part, pursue legally or go after the wealthy for doing these things. That's why you have this whole thing of offshore accounts in different parts of the world. Wealthy corporations and businesses and people, even Trump, they have offshore accounts in other countries that don't require them to pay taxes to their home country, or they hide them, or and it's always been that way. But they coming after you, who's making an extra $5,000 to $10,000 a year. They want that tax money from you, or they'll throw you in jail. But people making millions, multiple millions of dollars, if not trillions, or even billion-dollar corporations, nah. Not only are we not going to pursue y'all and make sure y'all pay y'all the same percentage and level of U.S. taxes that Pookie and them pay, that we require Pookie and them to pay. Not only are we not going to do that, but we're going to consistently and always give y'all wealthy people, businesses, and corporations, we're going to give y'all extra tax breaks to reduce the percentage of taxes that y'all are required to pay. On top of y'all and us knowing that y'all are cheating the system by keeping and hiding money in offshore accounts and all kind of other money games that y'all play. Wink, wink. We ain't gonna go after y'all unless y'all really just do it wrong, the wrong way, and mess up and make it really obvious, so-called, to us, even though it's already obvious to us. We all know what's happening, but we ain't gonna talk about all that, right? But we getting Pookie. Pookie gonna pay his dang taxes. Pookie, where you at? Pookie, you made $605? Well, then you owe us X amount of taxes. And we want them right now. Or when you file your taxes. I mean, that's what's going on in the U.S., y'all. Especially in regards to these cash card options. So I'm telling Pookie, you better stop using these cash card options, Pookie. Because they about to nail you to the wall with more taxes. Or whatever amount of money you've been making with your side hustle with these cash card options. Starting January 1st, anything $600 or more, you got to pay taxes on, Pookie, or you going to jail. Okay? Pookie, do you hear me? All right. And ladies and gentlemen, what I need y'all to understand is, well, one, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to One Brothas Mind. We're going to keep bringing you the hard-hitting truth facts as long as we can, as long as we're allowed on these social media platforms. Please do that. Smash the likes, smash the lights. We're trying to grow and build our channel here and provide information and solutions. Okay? But the other thing that I need y'all to understand is that this is all a part, ladies and gentlemen, of what's called the Great Reset. Okay? There's a reset, a financial reset that is happening and coming. Okay? And I need y'all to understand, basically the reset is they're shutting down in America and in the world the current or old way of doing money transactions and handling and managing and controlling money, and they're going to start or implement a completely new way of doing it. Basically digital money, y'all. But not only digital money, but digitally controlled, or if it's all digital, if all transactions everywhere are digital, then that makes them or someone else sitting behind a button somewhere be able to control, approve, or not approve, delete, close, cancel, monitor, for whatever reason they want, your money and what you do with it, and track every transaction you make. Does anybody, I shouldn't have to ask this question, is it anybody's business what you do with your money? No. Yeah, right. So, but this is where they're going to, because they want to have this level of control, y'all. They're after it. Okay? They're after this level of control. And there's a bigger reason why this is. It's all a part of the beast in the book of Revelation, the new world order, the beast system, the rise of the beast and Antichrist. It's all a part of that. But I'm not going to get into that because that's a whole nother rabbit hole I'll go down. There's a whole nother broadcast. Okay? But that's what it's all a part of. And it's all been prophesied in the Bible. So if you don't know, read your Bible. Read the whole Bible. And it's because there's different parts in different places in the Bible. But most of y'all are aware that the end times or eschatology information, a lot of it is in the book of Revelation, of course. But it's all throughout the scripture. So you got to read the whole thing. Study the whole thing so you can begin to understand what's happening, why it's happening, and what's to come. So you can be prepared, make the necessary adjustments you need to make like this, and stop using these cards. Just make that habit. Now, right? Get in the habit. Wean yourself, break yourself from this bottle. Break yourself from leaving the majority of your money and even in your physical banks. Y'all. Because a lot of y'all may not know, but those of us that are preppers in the U.S., we've been done took out the majority of our cash, our money out of all accounts in physical banks. We've been done that. Why? Because we understand what's happening. We understand this stuff's happening, what's coming, and that our money's no longer safe. I mean, just the general concept of giving something or someone else your money is, in general, crazy in the first place. And believing it's safe with them. I mean, matter of fact, hey, any ladies and gentlemen, any of y'all that believe that, please contact me via my One Brothas Mind Gmail email, and let's exchange with me your banking account information, your login and stuff, and so I'll be authorized. Allow me to handle and hold and manage your money for you. I'm a bank, y'all. Wink, wink. It's no different. Y'all laughing, but it's no different. I'm backed by the government. Wink, wink. The DFC, or what is it? Oh, FDIC, yeah, that. Wait, give me your money. It's safe with me. Will y'all believe me? So why y'all believe them? Okay, I'm going to tell you why. Well, first off, historically, real briefly, you got to understand why banks in general started. It's because before banks even existed, people had their money with them, like I am describing. And because everybody knew that everybody had their money with them, people that was ready to get their rob and mob on, they would just go bust down people's doors of their houses, their farms, their log cabins, whatever you want to call it, with their guns and rob them. Threaten to shoot them if they don't give them the money, because they know the money was there or they had it. And the people were giving their money because they didn't want to die and get shot. Okay, so banks were created in general to be a different location so people would stop busting in your door to rob you and shoot and kill you or threaten to shoot and kill you. They made physical banks and they put armed guards in the bank or in the banks. So that now the robbers that wanted to steal money, well, they had to go rob the bank who already had its own armed guards and security there. So it's going to be a shootout. So you ain't going to just walk in and rob the bank in general sense. Even though banks are still being robbed every day, y'all. But that's the general sense. Okay? And that's the general principle behind why banks were started. It also was to make money, but I'm not going to get into that because that's another rabbit hole I can go down that will take me away from this broadcast. Okay? So again, there's a great reset that's happening. They're breaking their neck trying to get people to completely buy into all the system. And especially if you're young, the young listeners, y'all just grew up and all this stuff was already here. PayPal, some of y'all is younger than when PayPal started. So all y'all know in your whole life is basically PayPal. So y'all seem cool with it. It's been normal. No, but it's not normal. It hasn't been around forever. None of them have. Okay? And again, think about the concept. I'm going to take my money, hand it to somebody else or something else, believing that that person or thing is going to keep my money safe with the internet. Don't believe me? Ask PayPal what they think about that statement right now. After deleting 4.5 million accounts. Keep on playing with them, y'all. Keep on playing with them. Okay? So ultimately, I'm trying to be brief, y'all. The point here, or solution here, that we recommend at One Brothas Mind is cash is best. Go back, at least at this time, go back to using primarily cash, y'all. Train yourself to do that. I know it's not as convenient and all. I get it. But that's one of the tricks of the Great Reset or Beast Antichrist satanic system is to either keep you drinking from their bottle, or to get you to drink from their bottle because it's so convenient and it's so easy. You don't want to do all that other extra work you would have to do to move money. Do it with us. We make it easy for you. You ain't gotta worry about all that. And it's safe. I mean, yeah. Break yourself of this now, family. If you haven't already. Move more and more every day to using cash. Because all your little credit card swipes, any card you swipe, chip, thing, anything, your transactions are being tracked and stored in databases. And it's not only with your bank. Your bank is tracking and storing and documenting them. The Visa, MasterCard, or whoever, they're storing and tracking, and they are using and selling your information. Come on, y'all. They're making money off of your information. One of the places, for those that don't believe me, that they're selling your transaction information to is to advertisers. Advertisers are paying crazy amounts of money to them for your transaction information. It's your personal information, but they are making money off of it and not giving you any of it. not sharing any of the money that they make selling your information with you. Come on now. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, get used to using cash. If you're hearing me in this broadcast, change what you're doing. Get used to using cash now. Move away from using these cards. Then move away from using your bank, your local banks as well. I know you can't just snap your finger and do it all at once, but start one step at a time doing it. Train yourself, retrain yourself to use cash. Okay? There's cash, there's money orders, there's cashier's checks. You literally can just, some of y'all young people ain't never heard that. You can literally walk into your bank and say, I need a $500 cashier's check. Hand them $500 cash, and they will give you basically a bank money order piece of paper. It's called a cashier's check. They'll hand it to you, and you can walk out, and then you can write whose ever name on that cashier check or whatever business name on that cashier's check, just like a regular paper check, and pay $500 for something. Just as if, people used to do that. I remember my parents used to do that early on when we used to go on our family vacations, because my parents didn't want to carry a bunch of cash with them before they changed those laws for the worse. But my parents in general was like, it's not safe for us to just have a whole bunch of money on vacation, a whole bunch of cash with us on vacation. Let's just do cashier's checks. Okay? Because even if you do get jacked and somebody steals your cashier's checks, you can pick up the phone and call your bank as soon as the jackers walk away and say, cancel all them cashier's checks. I just got robbed. And the bank will shut them all down. And whoever stole them from you will never get to use them. They won't steal your money. Your money will actually be redeposited back into your bank account. Okay? So again, cash, money orders, cashier's checks. Retrain yourself, ladies and gentlemen, back to using those things. Okay? That's the safest thing to do in regards to money and money transactions. Everything else is either not safe, as I've explained in this broadcast, or they're tracking you, or planning to control you and what you do with your money more and more every day going forward. Do you want that? An additional extra note, ladies and gentlemen, if you're familiar, and some of you are, this is the exact same type of system they have over in China right now. China uses all digital currency. And they've connected that digital money and currency use with what they call their credit score system over there. So they doing all kind of crazy control. You got a bad, it's not a credit score, it's like a social score. I forget the original name for it. Say you were somewhere and something went down and that upset you that you didn't agree with, and you cuss a clerk out at a store. That clerk in store can report you on their score apps and give you like a 1 star instead of a 5 star. And as those bad reports build up, it starts to affect can affect your digital money in the digital accounts. It's insane, y'all, but they already have that over there. Okay? Now, even though they have their digital currency, and that's what supposedly every Chinese citizen is supposed to use, there's still a black market or underground market of Chinese citizens who use Chinese cash. Why? Because they understand, nah, man, ain't nobody gonna be controlling everything I do with my money. In fact, I don't want you no control over my money. It's my money. It's personal. It's the principality of this thing, man. Get out my pocket. I ain't in yours. I can't be in yours. Get out mine. Y'all feel me? So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think on this issue here with these so-called money cards, cash cards. I'm sorry, y'all. The convenience time is basically up. It's over. Womp womp. It's time to move on. Time to adjust and change. Because things are only gonna just get worse with this stuff. If it ain't bad enough, which it already is, plenty bad enough. $600? Please. Anyway, okay. Why don't they tax all the money that Amazon or pick one, any of these big billion-dollar corporations, Tesla, do they tax all the money that these jokers have and make over $600? Nope. So why are they doing it to Pookie and doing it to you? I better wake up. Okay. So again, let's chop it up. Let me know what you think in the comments, ladies and gentlemen, on this issue. And this concludes this broadcast for One Brothas Mind. We thank you for joining us. And as a part of the new Black media, B1 choices are mandatory. And being on code is required. But never fear, Yeshua the Christ is with you always. Shalom.